When I mentioned in my last video that I had considered adding that video to the failure list, many people commented to express their surprise that there's a failure list at all. But guys, it's no secret that I fail sometimes. I've been posting failure compilations almost since the beginning. My first failure video was posted in November of 2022, so like only about a month or so after I started doing these videos. Since then, I've posted 8 more failure compilations, showcasing over 50 locations that I was not able to find. For those of you who have not seen one of these compilations before, I'm going to show you some of the videos that I was unable to find. If you are able to identify any of these locations, you should feel free to let us know in the comments. However, there is one rule. You must explain how you found it. If you use Google Lens, just say so. If you dug into the person's profile and looked at their other videos, just tell us that. Or if you simply happen to recognize this place because you live near there or have been there before, maybe just keep it to yourself and let other people try to find it. Okay, without further ado, this is failure compilation number 10. This first video shows us this view of railroad tracks from kind of an elevated position, but honestly, there aren't a lot of clues here. There's really almost nothing to see. The general look of it told me that this was possibly mid-Atlantic, like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, maybe parts of New York. Also, I couldn't help but notice that this person has Gritty, the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, in their profile picture. I also noticed that they have Prof in their username, which I thought maybe stood for Professor. So guys, I spent like 2.5 hours looking at various different railroad tracks coming in and out of Philadelphia, focusing on areas that were near universities, hoping that maybe I would find something that matched. But I never found anything that looked even remotely right. I just had to give up on this one. Guys, sometimes I spend a long time on a video before I declare them a failure. But other times, I can tell after looking at them for a very short period of time that there aren't going to be enough clues to find the place. And that was the case with this one. I only spent about 15 minutes looking at it before I determined that I was probably not going to be able to find it. Not with my usual methods anyway. However, our buddy Chad tells us that you can use Google Lens to find this place by focusing on this building right here. But let me know if you guys can find it without doing that. I could not. Guys, this is another one where I spent maybe 15 to 20 minutes looking at this one and then concluded that I was probably not going to find it. Now, if you trust the hat that this person is wearing here, then maybe this is in Texas, but I wasn't so sure about that. Honestly, if I had to guess, I was getting Arkansas vibes from this video, but that is really just a guess, and I would not be surprised if I'm wrong. So yeah, I don't know where this is. Guys, I was really hoping that I would be able to find this one, and I tried. I think I spent about 90 minutes, maybe a little bit more, looking at this one, and I was just really not coming up with anything that I could use to narrow this down very well. The best that I can say is that it looks kind of like the Pacific Northwest, maybe Northern California, I don't know, something like that, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. I got nothing here. Okay, this is another one where I concluded pretty quickly that I was not going to be able to find this place. I think I spent about 20 or 30 minutes looking, and I was really hoping that maybe I'd be able to spot a distinctive mountain range in the background here that I could do a reverse image search on. If I was able to do that, maybe I could trace that backwards and try to figure out where you would get a view like that. But guys, I didn't get any matches with that approach, so I didn't really have a good idea where to look. If I had to guess, I'd say Southern California, but I'm not really sure if that's right. I don't know. Okay, for this last one, I actually know where it is, but I don't like how I found it. For this one, I thought I had a solid approach, but I made a bad assumption that led me astray. Okay, so I knew that this was very likely the southeastern United States, and that's because we can see that there's kudzu here. Kudzu is an invasive species of vine that grows all over the South. It's sometimes called the vine that ate the South because it's pretty much out of control in a handful of states. So I knew a general area. We also have a couple of other clues here. We can see that there are some sports fields nearby because of these lights and maybe what looks like a scoreboard. I thought maybe a baseball field. We can also see that there's a water tower here. And guys, I was convinced that on the other side of this fence here, that there were railroad tracks. Now I can't see any railroad tracks here, but something about the way it looked was telling me that there were tracks there. So I ran a bunch of data queries to see if I could find sports fields that were near water towers that were also near railroad tracks. And I scoped my search to the southeastern United States, to the states that have the worst infestations of kudzu. And guys, I got lots of results, but I just started plugging away, going through them. But I looked at many different sports fields, and none of them were right. And that's because I was wrong about there being train tracks there. There are no train tracks there. And the only reason I know this is because after I spent about 4 hours looking for this place, I turned Chad loose and told him to go find anything that he could dig up about the person who posted this video. And before too long, we had an idea where to look, and honestly, it didn't even take me too long to find it after that. The Google Street View is like 15 years old, so it was a little bit hard to confirm, but I'm pretty sure this is the right place. This is the sports field that we see, and also this is that building that we see at this part of the video. Now, if you guys want to try to find this location yourselves, I will tell you that there are no train tracks there, but there is something there. And if I had been looking for the right thing, my data query approach would have worked. It would have gotten a lot of results, but I suspect I would have found it. But ultimately, I'm still going to declare this one a failure. Okay, that's all for now, guys. If anybody finds these locations, please let us know. If you do, I'll be happy to add them to the fail map. For those of you who do not know, on my site where I have the map of all the locations I've found, that also includes failure locations that were subsequently located. Those are the ones that are marked with big red X's. I will post a follow-up video soon revealing the 2 locations that I know, and I'll also let you know if anybody finds any of the other places.